Do you have a YOLO mentality? The YOLO mentality is back in popular usage as a result of the pandemic, and the world is once again faced with the reality that tomorrow is not guaranteed. Today, YOLO is associated with the economy, people deciding to leave their jobs for something better without a plan, and stocks like AMC and GME, the YOLO stonks. Today, I'm going to read an article on the YOLO mentality with regards to our money and our finances, something that's not new. Are you ready to master your finances and live your best life? Welcome to the Live Financially Well podcast. This is the audio version of the Frugal blog with your hosts, Jason Vitug. Let's start reading. As older millennials, whether you consider yourself a young Gen Xer or an older Gen Y, we grew up through the dot-com crash of the 90s and experienced firsthand the Great Recession during our formative years of personal and career development. Some of us saw our parents lose their jobs, retirement savings, and homes. We saw the luxury cars, oversized homes, and stuff our parents purchased to create a happy life taken away. We were also raised in a period where we've been in constant state of terror and war. These were the foundations of the YOLO mentality for our generation. What is YOLO? YOLO stands for You Only Live Once. The term itself is derived from social media uses and is relatively newish, 2012, but the mantra has been around for decades. The first explosive growth for YOLO came when the rapper Drake brought the term to the masses with his popular song, The Motto. However, Mae West, a famous actress born in 1893, you got it, the 19th century, was quoted saying, "You only live once, but if you do it right, once is enough." I've actually grown quite fond of the quote from Mae West. In fact, I included it in my book, You Only Live Once, The Roadmap to Financial Wellness and a Purposeful Life. The quote supports my mature millennial mind that we must make the most of the life we're given. It's not about being careless or making impulsive purchases or taking life-threatening risks. The opposite of these things are true. You only live once is about awareness that you have an opportunity to create a meaningful life in this lifetime. So, what is the YOLO mentality? When we were coming of age, YOLO was at its peak popular culture usage. It was uttered feverishly by the first millennials as a lifestyle choice and to explain our irrational belief that there is no tomorrow. It was the catchphrase to replace carpe diem, the Latin phrase for seize the day. Both the carpe diem and YOLO mentality are similar in usage and may be associated with risky behavior. I used to hear the YOLO acronym more often exclaimed while mindlessly shopping at the mall or taking shots at the bar. It became akin to making irrational decisions in the heat of the moment. Why? Because tomorrow isn't guaranteed, so it's better to act on impulse today. Financially speaking, however, the actions tend to support overspending. So, I'm not arguing against YOLO. I'm reclaiming YOLO in its full context of living a life of moments. The YOLO mentality is perfect when it's applied to the understanding that today is the best day to start living by saving, investing, and consciously spending. There is no better day than now to start learning about money and start building the actual YOLO lifestyle, a life filled with more joy and satisfaction. When I use YOLO during my seminars, I typically hear chuckles from the crowd. Being an older millennial, the YOLO lifestyle has been part of my experience and therefore ingrained in who I am. I do value living life, and I'm the first to admit I used to believe valuing purchases were similar to valuing my life. That has changed with maturity. So, what is the impact of YOLO on your finances? I've learned that YOLO is actually a very helpful mindset when it comes to living, saving, investing, and consciously spending, as I've noted earlier. There is no better day than today to start learning about money and creating wealth. YOLO isn't about an impulsive moment, but an actual sustainable lifestyle when you are mindfully aware of your financial decision making. You only live once, so make decisions that support a healthy, financially stress-free life. Now, here are 4 areas of your finances that are impacted by the YOLO mentality and what you can do to make the shift. First, Saving is delayed for instant gratification. We all know that saving money is important, but we spend money because it's so much more fun. We can easily associate the hours we've worked with a physical item. As millennials, we grew up in the age of continuous marketing that shaped our perceptions of what we need. The result is confusion between what we need, what we want, and what actually brings us joy. Do we really need a new smartphone every 2 years? And in many cases, every year? Since we worked hard for our money, shouldn't we have the right to spend it in any way we choose? Choosing to spend mindlessly rather than save purposefully will keep you from achieving financial wellness. Learn how you can save purposefully to achieve your short, mid, and long-term goals. That is how you YOLO on savings. The second impact of YOLO on your finances is spending more requires allocating future hours to work rather than fun. I don't really subscribe to the idea of never spending. You work to earn money in order to spend it. But I do want you to spend where it matters. You are exchanging your time for money, and what you buy says a lot more about your values. Are your bills, monthly expenses, and things you buy reflective of things you value? If they're not, then understand you're exchanging your time for money on things that don't matter in your life. That is not YOLO living. YOLO is about controlling your time and giving you the opportunity to do more of the things you love. You can do this by spending mindfully. If you're spending most of that time working to pay for things you don't value, then how much of your life are you actually living? Are these purchases worth the extra hours you're required to work at your job simply to afford things you don't value? The third impact of YOLO on your finances is on debt. Debt is a ball and chain, and one shackle prevents you from YOLO experiences like fancy dinners, exotic vacations, and luxury goods. When we don't make enough money but continue to spend using credit, we create long-term debt. Whether it's student loan debt or credit card debt, any type of debt obligates our time to work. If you make $10 an hour and have $10,000 of debt, you will have to allocate 1,000 hours or 25 weeks of your life to that debt. Credit is a useful tool, however, that can help you achieve life goals. But when used mindlessly, credit can turn into long-term debt. The more debt you have, the less time you have to enjoy your life. Are you in debt? Learn strategies to achieve debt freedom. The fourth impact of YOLO on your finances, a belief that not investing in your future because of uncertainty. The key to living YOLO is to regain control over your time, and that can be achieved when you make money with money. This can be done through investments in the stock market, through index funds and bonds. Growing up through two economic crashes has had a profound impact on how we view investing in the stock market. We're less willing to take market risks, but wealth is often created through wise investments with long-term thinking. Fortunately, investing is accessible for many more of us with micro-investing apps and discount online brokerages. And YOLO on your company benefits. You may not be with your company long term, but take advantage of the benefits that are being offered to you, such as contributing to your company's 401k plan and taking advantage of any stock options and employee stock purchase programs offered. Speak with your HR department about retirement benefits. It's your life, so you want to plan to retire well too. Now, remember, you have the opportunity to live the life you've dreamed by making informed, mindful decisions. You only live once, so YOLO on your finances. Thank you so much. You have just listened to How to Improve Your YOLO Mentality on Money. This is Jason Vitek, founder of Frugal and author of You Only Live Once, The Roadmap to Financial Wellness and a Purposeful Life. I am so appreciative of your time, and I do want to thank you so much for the growing number of listeners to this audio show, this podcast. And there's so many more things that are going to be happening. And that is all due to you and your feedback and your comments. I do ask that you subscribe if you haven't subscribed to this podcast everywhere and anywhere that you listen to your favorite shows. In addition, I invite you to connect and engage with me on social media, and I can be found at Frugal. That's PHROOGAL. And if you're interested in learning more about the resources or reading the article yourself, you can visit frugal.com, PHROOGAL.com, for all the resources, tools, and articles that you need. And I know I keep having to spell frugal because not many of you are aware of the unique way of spelling the name. And so appreciative of your comments and support in me spelling out the name over and over again until we all get comfortable. I'm comfortable. I'm hoping you are. With that said, I do want to add a little note to this article. I know many of us are hearing the term YOLO when it's associated with the YOLO economy, people quitting their jobs without a plan, and people are finding it foolish. You could listen to a podcast, YOLO and Me, How I Quit My Job and Reimagine My Life. That's available on the podcast as well. So you get an introduction into why I quit my job years ago and pursuing a path less traveled and some of the ups and downs and the wonderful, amazing experiences I've had along the way. And we've also heard about the YOLO stocks, the stonks, such as GameStop and AMC. These things are important because they are reminders that we understand that this life that we have is momentary. And we also understand that the life we have can last a very long lifetime, and we need to figure out a good balance. And so for me, I am going to continue to read some of these articles that I've written years ago because they're still relevant today as they were the first time I wrote them. And hopefully they are entertaining and educational and informative for you as well. Let me know. Let me know in the comments. Make sure you review this podcast wherever it's available. And with that said, I do want to thank you. And this is Jason signing out. Peace.